Hi folks, I hope you're well. So, yes, I was watching Bill Maher thing, Real Time I think it was called, and they were talking about Trump and what Trump is trying to do. And they had on that show today, I think probably all left-wing people, but all people that were not blind to the fact that the left wing. Well, Bill Maher said, and it's true, you were fighting a crazy battle with a crazy person and you lost. Because he was pointing out the fact that even with things like the Boy Scouts, they've taken the name Boy away from Boy Scouts. And they just call it Scouts now because, they're going to make it all equal, although actually it's not equal, it's completely in favour of women, but okay. So, they were pointing out the fact that you have all these things for girls, but you have these young boys now who, need so desperately to learn how to be a man. And that's been taken away from them. But there's been such a huge push towards trans ideology, and it's not really the trans people that have pushed that. It's the extreme left-wing people that have done so. Well, I said recently, the thing of it is, if you try and move the pendulum to the extreme left, when it goes back, when it swings back, it's going to swing to the far right. That's what. If you had the pendulum in the middle, when you let go of it, what's it going to do? It's going to stay basically in the middle, isn't it? But if you've swung it completely to the extreme left, you've swung it nearly to the furthest it can go to the left, so it's going to go to nearly the furthest it can go to the right. And the thing of it is now, it's now stopped at Trump. Yeah. So those people, left wing, ooh, basically you've been out there kicking too many wasp nests, and now, Trump's early time, he's now basically saying there's only two sexes, so therefore, we've had that recently where they've said there's over 100 different sexes, there's pans, there's all this. Trump has come in straight away and said, no, there's only two. That's it, there's only two. And so all of that pushing, give it a month, most of the work you did will be undone. And it'll only be undone because you pushed so blinking hard, and because the left wing pushed so blinking hard. Kamala Harris didn't have a chance. Didn't have a chance to win. It was obvious that with the way that the left was doing things and the way that the left was supporting an ideology that was just insane, and the fact that the Democrats in America had not apologised in any way, shape or form for the ideology it had been supporting and encouraging in schools, to encourage children to declare themselves as a different gender. And there was an actual encouragement for that as well. And the point of it is, parents get quite offended by that. Society, the people in the middle, do get quite offended by that sort of stuff. Once you start having some ideology that's infecting children, well, for example, I'm not sure who it was. In the UK, it would have been the Tory government, so therefore the right wing rather than left, who were basically, and again, this was insane. I don't know why on earth they did this. It was going against them completely. During COVID, they originally told us that COVID would be worse. Sorry, the other way. The vaccination would be worse for children than COVID would, because COVID wouldn't affect children in any way, shape or form. If they got the virus, it just wouldn't affect them. Their immunity system would actually deal with it, no problem at all. But how their immunity system would deal with, what's in the drug to deal with COVID is a completely different thing. They don't know. They don't know how that could affect the body, how that could affect the brain of these young people. And they were saying that was the worst option, to give them the vaccine. Do not give. They were saying, do not give the vaccine to the children. But then, because teachers were saying they wouldn't come back into school if the children weren't vaccinated within a very, very short time, only a matter of weeks, they decided to vaccinate all the children. And again, the people, remember, this is extreme left-wing thinking. You've just said the worst thing we can do is that, and a few weeks later, we're going to do that because teachers are holding us to ransom. Really? So again, because the left, even though they were holding the right to ransom, it didn't matter. The left were holding the right to ransom. So in the UK, the right got voted out because of that. Because people don't necessarily look to see who is responsible. They only look at the consequences. They only look at what was done and who did it. So, of course. And they don't look back through the history and see that, this started years ago. And see what the governments that have been in place since it started all those years ago. So, yeah. But right now in America, they got Trump. And so therefore the left is going to have a very, very, very sharp lesson about what happens when you take things to the extreme. What is the other side going to do? I said this would happen. This was going to happen. And it's going to be bad. Of course it is. Certainly for those people who have been pushing for this ideology. I mean, let's consider for a second that maybe what they were pushing for was righteous. That was right. That these people really do need protection. That maybe they are being systematically abused in the society that we have, and therefore they need special attention, even though they're only 1% or less than that of the population. That we need particular ideology to protect those people. Let's say that's true. Which it probably isn't, but let's say that's true. Yeah. Because you pushed way too hard. I wouldn't be surprised if the LGBTQ is now going to revert back to lesbians and gays. So all of this LBTW stuff, yeah. I do not believe that that's going to hold anymore. Because and the problem is, again, what the left do not understand, and what people just do not understand, is that when you poke a bear, that bear is not going to react equally to what you've done, right? If you poke a bear enough so that it reacts, you get mad, insanity, get the F out quickly situation happening, don't you? Well, that's what you've got in America now. There you go. You poke the bear. Now you've got a mad bear running around, smashing the crap out of every single thing you built up. I hope next time you're a bit wiser. So there you go. You take care. God bless. Enjoy the show. Bye bye.